Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today. I'm excited to kick off this session by introducing myself. My name is Talia. I'm from Vietnam and currently located in Sydney, Australia. My Vietnamese name is Thao. I'm a manager of some products, the organizer of this event. The benefits of being a member of the organizers is that I have been coordinator and presenter of Excel Virtually Global for 4 years since 2021. I work as a finance and business intelligence consultant with a background as a CPA Australia. In my role, I love solving complex business problems, especially through data. Whether it is using Power BI or Excel, my goal is to turn raw data into actionable insights that help drive smarter decisions. I work on a variety of projects, primarily as a project manager and lead modeler. This has given me the opportunity to help businesses automate repetitive tasks, optimize their processes, and build financial models, reports, and dashboards. Some of you might have seen my blogs on someproduct.com where I share practical tips, insights, challenges on Excel and Power BI. I'm proficient in Excel, Power BI, and Power Automate. I also use Power Apps and SQL to automate some projects I have with clients. Today, I'll be walking you through how you can take your Power BI reports to the next level by integrating write-back capacities with Power Apps and notifications with Power Automate. I'm excited to share this because it's a great way to turn static reports into interactive decision-making tools that can really empower your teams. Let's dive in. As you can see from the session titles, there are a few tools that I will use in this presentation. They are Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. Let's first come to my demo so you can see how it works quickly before we start building it. So this is the dashboard that I have built for this demo. It is the Task Manager dashboard. It allows you to filter for different fields like teams, preparers, reviewers, and the status of preparer and reviewers. It also allows you to change different months. Currently, I'm having a bookmark for it at current month. You can switch to other months to see the result as well. And it will also show you the number of due, completed, or overdue tasks, as well as the percentage of statuses and the number of completed tasks. On your right hand side, you will see there's a small app that allows you to edit the data source, and it's also interact with the dashboard. So for example, if I filter for team 2, it will have fewer tasks here, and if I click at one of the tasks, it also show only that task. Now I want to add a new task to see if it works. So my task here is EVG team 1. Maybe it's high priority. The due date is today, and the preparer is me, and it's not started yet. My reviewer is Catherine. And then I save it. It will refresh Power BI dataset or semantic model in the background and add it to this report. So now I clear the filter first, and you can then see EVG Here, this is the new task that I have just created. And then my Outlook will receive a new email notifying me that there is a new task. Just wait a little bit until it comes. Okay, so it has arrived. You can see this is my name and the link to that new task, and this is the name of the task. Let me click at the link. Here is the task that I have created in SharePoint list. Okay, come back to our slide. So how is it usually used in real life? Imagine that you have an interactive dashboard like this. You want to edit something instead of going back to the original source of this data and edit it at the back end and then refresh the dashboard manually and come here and see the result. We include everything in the same dashboard that allows user to see the result as well as edit it according to their need, and it's a real-time update as well. Real-life applications, you can use it for your to-do list, checklist, a task, project planner, like in this case, or stock management, invoice trackers, budget forecast form. So for example, you have a forecast financial statement, and if you want to check any forecast number, you can update it directly in the dashboard and see the result on the chart immediately. Sounds cool, right? I will show you how we can build it. Let's come to the demo. So first thing that you need is the data source. You can use any of the data source that I show on the screen as long as they are on the cloud, and Power Automate and Power Apps can access via connections. So here are some examples like Excel, Microsoft List, SharePoint List, like what I use in this case, Dataverse or SQL Server. You can also access to this link to see more details from Microsoft. In order to build the whole interactive dashboard, you will need some licenses. For SharePoint List, Power Apps, and Power Automate, as long as you have Microsoft 365, you should be able to use them. There are also other plans that you can try if you don't have Microsoft 365. As for Power BI, depending on your need, if you only need to refresh it up to 8 times a day per semantic model, you only need the Pro license. But if you use that dashboard like frequently and many people will use it, then you may need to consider premium capacity that allow you to refresh up to 48 or unlimited refresh per semantic model per day. You can also read this Microsoft article to learn more about this. Okay, so those are also the 4 main components of this demo. In this demo, I use SharePoint List as an example, but in your case, you can use other sources as I mentioned earlier. So we start from the data source, then we use Power BI to connect directly to SharePoint List by Power Query to do transformations. Then in Power BI, we add a Power App visuals to link it to Power Apps. Power Apps will then be able to update SharePoint list directly via write-back form. And then it's refresh Power BI semantic models. And finally, we use Power Automate to send an email notification whenever a task is created or completed, so the reviewers will know they need to check the task. As for this flow, Power Apps can also trigger the Power Automate, but I won't cover in this demo. It's just for your information that you know it has this ability. Okay, now let's come to our demo. First, I will show you a little bit about the data source that we will use today. This is the SharePoint list for tasks. It has these columns like task, team, start day, due date, priority, notes, preparers, reviewers. You can create as many as a column depending on your needs. I will talk a little bit about different column types in SharePoint list. We have different column types such as the date column, where if you use a date column, you will have the date picker here for you to choose a date. There are some columns like lookup columns where you can link it to another SharePoint list. So here I have preparer and reviewer, and I also have another SharePoint list for preparers as well as reviewers. It's just a tips because this is just a demo. I don't want to send email to anyone else, but I want to test whether they receive the correct email. So I use my email and then use plus something after it. It will also send to my email, but it will show up on the email address, these emails. Okay, let's come back. So these are the column that link to those SharePoint lists as well as the related columns for email, these two. Next is the choice column. This column allows user to select from a drop-down list. Same with priority and teams. Okay, now as we are here, I will show you a little bit about the difference between internal name and display name in SharePoint list. The column names here are the display name that SharePoint list shows us, but their internal name can be different. In order to know their internal name, what you can do is you can click at a column and sort them. Then on the URL, you can see the field name here. So I have just sort the priority column and you can see the priority name here. But if I sort it by, for example, status, you can see preparer status is the display name, but its internal name is actually progress. The reason you need to know this is because later on we will use it in Power Automate flows, or sometimes it also affects SharePoint list view inside Power BI. Okay, now let's come to Power BI demos. This is the dashboard that I have built with the Power Apps on the right hand side. I will show you a little bit about different connectors for data source as I mentioned. I can show you some common one, like for example, you can use Excel, of course, here is the most popular one, or you can use Dataverse. This is here, or on this side, you can see. Or in this demo, I use SharePoint list. There are two options. This option is for any local hosted SharePoint server. In this case, I use Microsoft Online List. When you select it, it will ask you for the site URL. In order to get it, you just come to the SharePoint list and copy the path after site here. Just copy this component, paste here. There are two versions of online list. The first version is the old one that extracts the backend view, but what I want is the default view, which have the display name, as I mentioned. So I use this one, and then under advanced option, I select default view or SharePoint list because I don't want any system column to be included here. Okay. Then you just need to select SharePoint list. Yeah, and you want to select task and then transform data. You can see this is the view that we have just seen. Now you just need to change size, expand the lookup columns. Same with previewer. Okay, that's pretty much what we need to do. So this is just an example. In this file, I have already parameterized the root URL, created a calendar table, and a small dimension table for priority. This is the task table that I have just shown you. And this is just a blank table for measure. Okay, now let's remove the changes. So we start from this file. First, we need to publish it to Power BI service. And then open it up. Then you just need to click edit there and then add Power Apps visuals. I place it here. I will add ID and task column under task table so that I can use inside the app. Here it asks you to choose an existing app or create a new one. In my experience, in order to make the whole process smoother, I will create a new app. Then it will navigate to Power Apps website. And it's automatically added a gallery for you. So here I want to link it to a SharePoint list. To search for SharePoint. It's inside here, and this is this one. Task. So it is showing up the list of all tasks. I want to add a header. So it's just a shape, this one. I want to match it with my color theme. So what I do is select outside and select theme here and change it to green. We immediately change the theme color of the whole app. And then I want to show a label here. This task. Change the formatting. Then the color. Okay. May I put it in the middle? Okay, so here are the tasks that I have. When you click at gallery, you can see under items, it is showing, it is getting data from task, SharePoint list. But I want these tasks to filter by Power BI slicer or other chart that I built in Power BI. So what I do is that I want to change it to a search function, and you can see on the left hand side, when you link Power Apps to Power BI, you will see this Power BI integration here, so you can use it. Power BI integration dot data, and I just want to show everything filtered by the Power BI, so I don't want to search for any text. And the column of Power BI is task. I also need to fix this one, so it will show task name. So this is the main page. Next, I want to add another screen that allows me to edit it in a form. So I go to this screen here, form, and then I connect it to my task SharePoint list. Power Up automatically create a form for me, so I don't need to do anything else. If you want, you can edit this field by clicking this edit fields and add new fields or remove any field that you don't like to show up. Let's come back to this tree view. Here I will need to change a little bit, like the name of the selected task, or maybe I will just call it edit task to make it simple. And here at the edit form, I select item. I want this form to show up any selected task, so I will need to add a formula lookup task. As you remember, in Power BI, we selected two columns, ID and task. Here I want to filter task by the ID, and the ID is from gallery 1, that is this gallery that we created before, and selected ID. So it now show up all the selected information. Okay, next I select the edit form. I go to on success, and here when people submit the form, I want the app to refresh the Power BI semantic model for me. We need to go to data and add Power BI. Then come back to tree view, select edit form on success, Power BI, refresh dataset. Here you will need to ID. If you go to the workspace page and find that report that you have just published, it is this one, and click at it. The two ID is, the first one is the workspace ID and the second one is the dataset. So here you just need to copy them to your clipboard and come back to here and paste them here. After we have refreshed it, we need to notify the user that tasks time success. I put 3-second delay here. This is in milliseconds. So this means it will show up this notification for 3 seconds. And then I want to navigate back to the main page, that is screen 1. And also notify the user that dataset is being refreshed. They need to wait to see the result. And this time I leave it for 7 seconds, just in case it takes a little bit of time. And Power BI refresh dataset. This function only allows to refresh the semantic model, but what we see on our dashboard won't be refreshed immediately. Usually, we will need to manually click the refresh button here to see the updated data. But I want to do that with the Power Apps, so what I will do is that when it's come back to screen 1, on visible here, I will put Power BI integration dot refresh. So whenever screen 1 is visible, it will refresh all Power BI visuals. So I want to select this item and I go to on select, change this to navigate, edit form 1. This will allow me to navigate to screen to form 1 of screen 2. Here I want to submit the form, so this is correct. If I click cancel here, I want it to return to the main page and clear the form. So it will be reset form, edit form 1, and just go back. Okay, that's the first step. I will publish it to test. EVG demo app, 2024 demo app. Let's see, a little bit, yes, publish, and go back. You can close it. Here you will see the app is showing up. Let's wait a little bit. Here you just need to allow it to read and write the record to list, and then refresh the Power BI semantic model. Allow. I just want to edit under general padding. I want to remove all these. It shows the full screen on this side. Here you haven't seen anything. I just save it first and refresh this page. Okay, now it works. So now when you select a task on this table, you will filter for this, and when you change something here, change this to low priority, for example, then click. It will show up this dialog and will refresh your data. Cool, nice, done. So here is your dashboard with Power BI and Power Apps integrations. Next, I will Have you add another Power Automate flows that allow you to send email notification when a preparer completes their task? So you just need to navigate to make.powerautomate.com and then click create. Here is an automated cloud flow, and I will put my flow name here. I will use this trigger when an item is created or modified, and it's a SharePoint trigger. So I can create. I select this one and choose my SharePoint list. So it is the task SharePoint list. And then I add a new action to send an email. It is this. Under two, I will need to use a dynamic contents from the SharePoint list. So I will switch to advanced mode, and here it allows me to choose. You can click see more and find it. Here, so the reviewer. So this email will be sent to reviewer to check the task that has been completed by the preparer. Here you just need to enter whatever you like to ask the reviewer. So it is task is to review. So I show the task name, this title here. I review a name, and then prepare a name. Task name. I want to add the hyperlink that they can click and go to that task detail on SharePoint list as well. So I will add a hyperlink. So we click this one. It will show you this one. But here you need to hardcode the hyperlink. I don't want to hardcode it. I want to use a dynamic content for it. Using this one. So I switch it to this view, HTML view, and then I remove this URL, change it to link to item. Okay, the email is done. However, currently Power Automate will send an email whenever an item in SharePoint list is created or modified. I don't want it to send too many emails to me. I only want it to send email to me whenever a preparer completed their task. So what I will do, I will need to add a trigger condition here, and you will need to write an expression. So in order to avoid writing an expressions, a tip for you is you can use a filter array step to write it for you. So what you will need to do is, this is the new design mode. It doesn't work well with that filter array expression, so I would turn it to the old designer mode. So it is save and switch. This is the old view. I just need to add a new step. This is just a temporary step that write the code for me. So you just need to specify the condition whenever you want the flow to run. So my condition is preparer status equal completed. Once you done that, you just need to click edit in advanced mode and then copy this code. Now you can delete this step and go to here to the first trigger step, settings, go down to trigger conditions, edit, and paste it here. So you can see, if you remember, subprogress is the internal name of the preparer status column. If you know the internal name of the column, you can also manually change this name to the name of your column. So click done and save it. Looks good. Now what we need to do is come back to our dashboard and try to edit a new ones. So for example, EVG task here, I'm recording this now. I almost done, so I change it to completed and I click submit. It will then send an email to notify Catherine that I have finished the task. You can see the status change here, and if I look, let's wait for it to come. This was the previous email. If we come to the reviewer list here, Catherine is having Talia +9 email, and I come to Outlook. Here you can see the email has arrived, and this is Catherine email here. So you can see. Cool, so the email has been successful. So that is the whole process of creating an interactive dashboard that integrate like Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and SharePoint lists together. Let's summarize it. I have a slide here. So we have talked about SharePoint list, column types, date choice, lookup columns, the difference between internal name and display name. In Power BI, I have showed you the connectors, the SharePoint online list connectors. Regarding schedule refresh, you can go to the workspace. Now we have done the Power BI reports. You can just schedule refresh, click here to schedule it. And under refresh, just need to turn it on. You can refresh it as many as you like daily or weekly. Weekly, you can choose the date and the time that you want to refresh. I will choose daily and then apply. Maybe at the time before the working hours, 6 a.m. apply. Okay, now every day it will refresh as 6 a.m. Come back to the slide. I have showed you how to add Power Apps visuals, and then when we come to Power Apps window, I have showed you how to create a basic app. The difference between Power BI integration.refresh and Power BI.refresh dataset. If you don't remember, Power BI integration.refresh just refresh the visual, not the semantic model. Power BI.refresh dataset will allow you to refresh the semantic model, but it won't refresh your visual when you are looking at the Power BI report. You will need to use Power BI integration.refresh to refresh all visual after that. And then the Power Apps have the write-back abilities to update SharePoint data. And finally, we have Power Automate that have the SharePoint trigger and allow us to send an email with link to item. Cool. Thank you for joining me today. Hope my sessions have been useful to you. After you going through this session recordings again and follow my step, I hope you can show me what you have done, how you apply it to your business or personal life. Hope you enjoy this session. Thank you. I'm Talia. If you want to contact me, here's my contact details. You can also go to the website to look at my Excel challenge or look at my colleagues' Power BI, Power Query, Excel blogs. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the rest of the Excel Virtually Global 2024. See you.